All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call. And let me say good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're at. Go ahead and let me know that you are conscious, that you are awake. I'm going to share just a few things with you. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. I'm actually getting a lot more active on there lately as I am learning CapCut a little bit better. And this is from this morning. One of our clients sent her marketing packet from listings to leads, pretty much this right here, which I'll show you a little bit later. And she then followed up with that lead, and the lady said they're going to list with her. And I just did this one a little bit ago. What do agents say about our training? Don't do it. They don't want the competition. So that was from one of you. Excuse me. That was from one of you recently. I thought that was kind of cute. And I'm going to show you listings to leads. Let me see. Yeah, right here. I'm going to show you this. This is in listings to leads right now. It's from the pending home sales that was dropped yesterday from NAR. And let's just play it a little bit more. I've got a couple of versions of this video. I got a white woman and a black woman. So you can pick your poison. All right. So the idea is, kind of like no matter how the market is doing, people need the strongest marketing plan possible. I mean, if you think about it, right, what we just were looking at right here, right, it's the same thing, except the expired one has expired on it. The regular one doesn't. And she sent this expired homeowner, right, the package that we talk about in our expired training, and she threw all the other garbage away. And so what we want to do is we want to use the news. We want to use what's going on in the industry, what's going on in the world. And right, check this out. Get the 100 marketing plan now. Visit the link. And I've got it going right to this in my listings to leads account. And I want to do this over and over and over and over again, just because, like with you, like with me, I don't notice it the first time. It doesn't register the first time. I don't take action the first time necessarily. I need to see stuff kind of over and over again because, am I going to be selling tomorrow? Probably not. Buying and selling a home is not a pair of socks. We don't do it every couple of days or every month or every 3 or 4 months. We do it every 5 or 7 years, maybe every 10 years. And so, we don't want to just put our marketing plan in front of people once in a blue moon. We want to kind of keep it circulating in their mind, in their consciousness. All right. Because just like all of us, we're all over the place. We got a million things going on. You can't expect me to remember something you told me a month ago or 3 months ago or 2 weeks ago, maybe not even a week ago. I need to see it over and over and over again. So in listings to leads, before we get started on the topic of today, if you go to the media library, there's also an email that you need to be sending to your seller leads. When you log in, there's going to be a pop-up. All right. And I'm going to walk you through it. But in the media library, there's 2 videos. So we got this beautiful woman right here. And the idea is what you're going to do is you just download the leads. So you download this from listings to leads and you upload it as an Instagram story. And when you do an Instagram story, you can put a link just like what you saw on mine. So we got her. And if any of you think I need to put a guy in here, let me know. And then we got this one. We got this lady right here. It's the exact same text. It's just the only difference is the woman. All right. So again, take one of these, whichever one you feel is best for your market, and get that up on Instagram. When you add the story, when you add an Instagram story, if you don't know, and I do training on this once in a while, right? You'll go to Instagram. You'll select the story, not reel, not post, but story. And when you upload the video, you'll see the sticker. You'll see like kind of the editing options along the top, and the one next to the big A, small a is like a sticker icon. You'll tap it. And in fact, in the mastermind group, uh, Eric, hold that thought for 1 second. And I got a post in the mastermind group. Let me grab it. So if I go Insta, and I'll bump it up to the top. Instagram story. I got a video and I got one with some screenshots. Let me see. So here's the video where I literally walk through it and how to add links in an Instagram story. So that should bump it up to the top. I'll tell you, let's just play it real quickly here. Let me turn off the volume. So you're on Instagram. And why isn't that playing? There we go. So you're on Instagram, right? Along the bottom there, you can see where it says story. It might be hard to see on the screen, but you'll see, right, open up Instagram. Then you got story, reel, and live and post. So you want to do story. All right. And then I don't know why it's taking me so long. Then you're going to click to go open the photo gallery. There's the photo gallery on my phone. Select the video file you want to use. So there we go. And now you see right here, I got volume. I got the double A, the big A, small a, and then right here, right, sticker, boom, right above the LIS right there. So you're going to tap that. And I designed all of these videos to add these links. So I'm sitting here yapping. I guess I'm in the video. Let's just get to it, please. Let me see. I guess I'm messing around with the video. Give me a second. There we go. All right. So when I tap that, right now it says you get all these options. There's link. Sometimes it's in the middle, and then you'll see that. You'll paste in the URL. So you'll copy the URL from listings to leads, paste it in there. Paste. Come on. Why am I going so slow in this video? I apologize. All right. So I pasted the link, and then it says customize sticker link. That's where you can put in like view my marketing plan, right? You can type in view my marketing plan, and boom, it'll be like that. And then I can move it around. I can tap it to give different options, like you see right there. And then that will be an actual hyperlink on Instagram. But here's where it gets a lot better. Check this out. So things that are on Instagram are also on Facebook. So Instagram stories, not reels, not posts, Instagram stories come over to Facebook. And so right here, check this out. And I can click to it right there, right from Facebook. So that's why these Instagram stories are so powerful. And so I want to make sure that you got, all the tools that you need, all right, to be making sure that we are staying in front of people, right, with our tools, right, that really move the needle, like the 100 plus point home marketing plan. There's the flip book version. You got the print version. Definitely got to join us on our expired calls. We have a listing presentation call that we do every couple of weeks where I really get into that in a lot more detail. But if you go back to the dashboard, right, in fact, right here, you'll see there's a link to the mastermind group. If I click that, you'll see more information here on this. You can ask questions. It's a great place to ask questions on it. If you got more questions on how to do this, that'll, I don't know, Facebook's being a little bit slow. That'll open up the post, right? Boom, bada bing. And for the email, you want to get this out via Bold, via Lofty, via Follow Up Boss, Constant Contact. If you scroll all the way down to this section here, database email blast, because this is part of follow up. This is part of follow up. One of our clients, Gwen, a few weeks ago, got a listing from one of these emails. So she sent the email, because again, we do this every couple of weeks. There's the pending existing home sales was last week. Pending home sales was yesterday. And so I come up with emails both for sellers and buyers along with those video clips. Just click the subject line and you're going to see they both have links. So the one for the sellers will automatically link to your 100 plus point home marketing plan. So that's essentially the same link I put into the Instagram story. And so here we're just saying the subject line, pending home sales update, what it means for 2026 sellers. And the email is fully editable. You can edit it however you want, but it says the quick update from NAR, pending home sales were down 0.8% nationally. All right, regionally, I just give the little snippets. We link to the report at NAR right there. And then we say, what does this mean for homeowners who are thinking about selling in 2026? Well, what it means is the right plan matters more, right? Especially in a market where it's a little bit, discombobulated. And homes that are prepared properly and marketed strongly are the ones that attract attention, create urgency, and sell for top dollar. View my 100 plus point home marketing plan. So there's a link, it'll link right to it. And it'll be your branded one, your colors, your logo, your beautiful picture. And then it says here, if you're even considering a move in 2026, reply back and I'll send you a custom 100 plus point home marketing plan for your home. So that's where you can add it to your account, status, listing presentation, add a photo of their home. And then that photo will populate the entire presentation. Their name, their address will be on the cover. Their home is on the cover. And you talk about, I've had clients, they tell me they get these to a seller lead, an expired lead, and the homeowner had already been talking to other agents, had already expected to go with another agent. But when they see our client's marketing plan, they go with them, right? So, it's almost like that stealing candy from a baby type of thing, but in a more ethical, not very weird, creepy kind of way, right? And then we're also offering them your ultimate guide to selling your home. That's the PDF guide in listings to leads. You can download it or you can send them the link to the landing page. Either way, to download and send it via email might be kind of hard because it's a 100-page PDF. So it might be too big to send via email or text message. You can try, or you can just send them the landing page and just say, hey, this is a 100-page file. I can't really send it via email, but just go ahead, right? Just put in your name and email and it'll download, and also it'll send you a copy of it via email. Make sense? So again, I'll show you, and you can send this through Lofty, send it through Follow Up Boss, send it through whatever you want. Here's the link to the 100 point home marketing plan. Beatrice says, I love these emails and always send them. Yeah, thank you, Beatrice. Yeah, that's awesome. Good to hear. Brent, is there a way to get a direct URL for the other custom emails? Brent, there is. We'll talk about that because I'm going to get into using these emails. All right. In fact, you know what? I know what to do. Hold on. I know what to do. So if you want to send it through your CRM, easiest thing to do is just copy that. All right. So in the preview, don't copy it from the edit, copy it from the preview. And then I will pretend I'm going over to Follow Up Boss or any email CRM type of thing. All right. They all work the same way. I'm just do pending home sales. Of course, I'll use the complete subject line that was for the email, but just for this now, I'm just showing you. Copy and paste is so easy. Check this out. Boom. All right, there we go. Everything is perfect. So that could have been Follow Up Boss. That could have been Lofty. That could have been Sierra. That could have been Bold Trail. All right, boom. Good to go. Send it out. Get it done. Absolutely free. And again, this is part of Follow Up. Here's the one for the buyers. So you got buyer leads, pending home sales update, what this means for 2026 home buyers. And again, I just click on a subject line. In this one, I'll show you how to send it through listings to leads. So again, I can edit it. This link will actually go to a price reduced landing page. the one that's in your account, again, branded to you, your logo, your colors, all the leads go directly to you. One of the things I'll mention today is, if you got another CRM, get your leads to your CRM. All right. We can get leads to, I don't think there's a CRM that we can't get leads to. All right. Every CRM can accept leads from listings to leads. I'll point you in the right direction there here in a few minutes. But if I go to the preview, let me just show you that link. So here we go. Well, and real quickly, so for the buyers, what we're saying is, in markets where activity cools even a bit, buyers often gain leverage, more time to compare, negotiate, repair credits, focus on the best value. That's why watching price reductions in new listings closely can be a smart move right now. If you'd like to see the latest list of price reduced, click, and it's going to go right to the landing page. All right. Yep. I know I can download. Yeah, no, Brent. I think I've got another idea. For you. All right. So if you want to send it, so I showed you how to send it through Follow Up Boss, Lofty, all of that. And if you want to send it through Listings to Leads, just under the edit, I can send it to my buyer leads, and I can either schedule it or I can send it right now. I can always send a test email. I love sending test emails first. Just want to make sure that everything is working perfectly. Right. I can edit the email before I do anything with it. Boom, bada bing. So this is part of follow-up. So please, because what is it? It's taking topical news, it's taking current events, and it's distilling it down in a very, very, quick little format. We actually link to the NAR page, right? So we got the full report, which I think, transparency. I don't want to sit here and have people wonder, like, what the hell is he talking about? Is that right? No, I want to link to the actual report because it will give you credibility versus them wondering and having to go find it themselves if they want to. So we link to the full report in both emails. And then again, boom, price reduced, 100-point home marketing plan. So, I'll tell you what. So Brent, now we're going to be a little bit scattered today, but it is all going to be on point at the same time. The PDFs that we've got in Listings to Leads, we automatically use them in the follow-up. And I tell you, we get so much great feedback from people because whether it's a buyer follow-up or the seller follow-up, in fact, let's go to that right now because this all relates. And Brent, this will get to your question as well. So when I go to follow-up, you will see, and we got AI text follow-up, which I'll be mentioning, I'll be talking about, but we got buyer follow-up, seller follow-up. And we've also got Spanish for both. You can edit these, you can duplicate, you can create new ones, right? There's a lot of, all the different things that you can do. So to turn them on, you just click that off on, and I'll do that in a minute. But let me just show you the method to the madness on how we do our follow-up, because it's very simple, very straightforward, but it's very powerful. So imagine there are 10 emails, right? But there's more. There's like 80 or 100 or whatever it is, and then we just rotate, we kind of flip it and just redo it. Every so often what we do is we come into the emails, we'll update the subject line, we'll update the text. We're going to be updating the images here pretty soon, just so that they look fresh and they stay fresh with people. Now, imagine there's 10 emails, all of the evens, so emails 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on, will have a PDF guide. So we're offering value, we're offering a guide. So in this case, when they get the email, all right, and Brent, so I'm going to, we're going to check something out here. When they click the image or the link in the email, they just download the guide. There's no landing page because I know who they are, because I can tell, right? It's their email. They open the email, they click. So I'll know, and I'll get a notification that, hey, Scott Pierce just downloaded your PDF guide, how to increase your home value. Or, Brent Hammond just downloaded your guide, 5 dangers of overpricing your home. So I'll get no landing page, right? There's no forms. because Brent is getting an email. He's in my follow-up, obviously, so I already got his information. So why would I need him to fill out another landing page? So Brent, what I'm wondering is, we're going to try this two different ways because I just don't know the answer to the question right now, but we're going to find out. If I were to copy this, and if I open up another editor, so if I go to, I take this to Lofty, or I take this to Follow Up Boss, or even Gmail, and I send an email to that contact. So maybe I even go to the contact record and click send email. Oh my God, I think I'm going to sneeze. I feel like I'm getting allergies. So yeah, it looks like, let's do this. Send test email. Test email. All right, hold on a second. Let me go to my other monitor. Let me see if I can grab that email. Let me refresh. Testing. There we go. It came through. We're going to find out together right now. Does this work or not? Boom. It works. Yeah. It's just downloaded the guide in my other monitor. Boom. There we go. Yep. Awesome. Brent, does that answer your question? So you could take that guide and people, and this is going to get to the next right here. So Krista, excuse me. I don't know, Krista, you might be on this call. I'm thinking of including the PDFs in my CRM. Any of you doing this and if you had success with it? Phenomenal. It is a phenomenal idea. All right. Take that, drop it like I just did, just copy it. All right. So find the PDF guide that you want and just copy it like I did. Copy it, go to Lofty, go to Sierra, go to Follow Up Boss, go to whatever, and paste it in there. And you can edit it if you need to. All right. Brent, does that answer your question? Thank you for asking that, because I've always assumed you could, but I guess I just have never, or maybe I haven't, I just forgot about it. So anyways, so does that answer the question, Brent? I think that's awesome. Thank you for, I'm glad I at least finally kind of tested my theory on that one. So I was talking about, though, our follow-up. So the evens are the guides. All right. So we're adding value. We have something downloadable. They can take a look at it. And then the odds are usually very short, pointed questions. Like, look at this. Your home value estimate. I have a buyer that hasn't found a home yet. Do you know if any of your neighbors are thinking about selling? Right. Best offer, list your home now. Again, super short. Get the most money for your home. Hi, Scott. The last couple of weeks were epic for people selling their homes fast for top dollar. Want in? I have buyers looking in your neighborhood, right? Just super short. And they're always editable. So you can always come in here and edit them. Looks like here we got 2 guides in a row for some reason, which, whatever. All right, maybe a couple more guides in a row. That's fine, right? Whatever. These are towards the end. You can see here, right? Look at this. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. All right. Can I cut the URL from? I'm sure you can, Brent. Although it seems to be like a little complicated as far as what you need to do. But yeah. Is pre-look at my own authenticate? No, unfortunately not. Yeah, no, unfortunately not. Yeah. Feel free to email me later. In a webinar like this, that's a little bit above, what we can kind of get to in a call like this. But if you want to email me that later, just scott@listingsleads.com. I can share that with my team and ask them. All right. So we talked about follow-up. Oh my God, what am I doing? There we go. Follow-up right here. All right. So email follow-up. This is, again, we get great feedback from people, whether they use our follow-up or they take it to their CRM and drop it in there and use it with their CRM. So that's definitely one thing with follow up. The other one, obviously, using the tools that we give you, right? The emails, I should say, that we give you, and you can even uh, take those emails. And I've done this sometimes, but I don't do it all the time. Which is, if I go back to the dashboard and let's take a look, let's go back to the email. Is text it to your leads. So, for example, if I take this one right here, pending home sales update, for the seller, and I might just take that right there and this that paragraph right there, and send it out as a text message to my seller leads. That would be phenomenal. You could also do a phone call to some of your leads, right? Hey, this is Scott. Hey, you know what? I just was thinking about you. I saw the pending home sales report yesterday and it was down. And so I'm just calling a few of my VIP clients just to let them know what's going on in the market. Just want to make sure everybody's updated. I know you're not thinking about selling right now, but if you'd like to get a copy of my 100 plus point home marketing plan that's been benchmarked against agents and listings across the country, feel free to let me know and I can send you over a copy either via text, email, or I can even mail you a copy so that you can have one, a hard copy. All right. Because again, what is my goal? My goal for seller leads and homeowners is essentially by hook or by crook, get this in front of them. All right. I don't care if it's the link. I don't care if it's the hard copy. I don't care if it's the general one in your listings to leads account. The faster we can get these into the hands of seller leads, the more likely we are going to be getting them as a listing. Now, for a lot of you who don't know, let me just show you here. There's several versions of this. One, it's in your account by default. When you sign up, when you log in, when you get your account, it's sitting here under the tab called Listing Presentation. And there's a flip book version right here. All right, so there's a flip book, and you can see it goes all the way through. There is a print version. One thing on the print version I'll mention, this is where you can add your introduction. So a lot of you, I noticed, don't have your introductions. In the mastermind group, if you type in introduction prompt, you will actually see, and I will actually go to it. Am I in the group? I think I'm in the group. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. So in the mastermind group, if you search introduction prompt, you will see a great little prompt for creating and polishing real estate agent bios. All right. So you just take this prompt, drop it into your favorite chat program or your favorite AI program, put your current bio below it, and just hit enter and let it produce its thing for you. And again, the introduction goes right there. Now, the flipbook version and the print version, you can connect it to a listing that is currently in your account. And how you do that, it's a little bit odd. So check this out. If you go to download either way, I'll just say PDF. And now look at this listing. So I can select the listing that I want to use and just hit it again. So now that listing, the listing photos are going to populate my presentation. So the presentation comes with default photos. So you don't have to do anything. But if you've got a listing in your account that you want this one to emulate or populate from, as far as the photos and everything, then that's how you do it. Now, the other listing presentations that I've got, and again, I'm mentioning this because converting seller leads, right? What do sellers want to know? At the end of the day, what sellers are trying to figure out is, who can I trust? Who has the best marketing plan? Who, What are you going to do to get my home sold? What are you going to do that's different from everybody else? Why would I pay you 2.5 to 3% on just the listing side? Let alone you're probably going to be asking me to pay for the buyer's agent. Okay. Why? Right? Why are you worth it? Well, when we get this in front of them, right, whichever version you want, but whenever we get this in front of them, that answers the question to the point where we have gotten clients where we've got callbacks, come list me calls, like literally the homeowner calling the agent, texting the agent, emailing the agent to say, you know what, I got your presentation, it looks amazing. When can you come over and list my home? All right, literally getting come list me phone calls. All right. I've had people door knock and list the property while they're at that first door knock meeting, right? They knock on the door, they show the homeowner, right? And this is obviously in an expired scenario. They show the homeowner the expired presentation. The expired homeowner invites them in and gives a tour of the property, and they end up signing a listing agreement right there. All right. Another one of our clients put $2.5 million luxury listing into her pipeline from door knocking. Because again, she took the presentation with her. And again, this is all part of follow up, right? Because again, all of these seller leads, all right, every other agent is running around talking about how great they are, talking about, we got 5,000 offices, we got 10,000 people, and we're a global brand, and we're this and we're that, and they don't care, right? The homeowners don't care, right? You got people in Tokyo. I don't care, right? So you got people in France. What does that matter to me? I don't care. What I want to know is, what are you, right? Brent, what are you, Brent? All right. Mita, what are you, Mita, going to be doing to get my home sold? All right. All of this other great stuff you're talking to me about doesn't really matter. All right. So the other presentations that you should be creating, one is this one right here. So when you got a listing presentation, or if you got a really like a lead, all right, and you see they're opening up the emails, maybe you've had a conversation with them, you haven't been able to close them, you haven't been able to get any kind of commitment out of them on which way they're going to go or what they're going to do. I would add them to my account, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But let me just show you a couple of these things first, and create the presentation for their home. And I would mail this, or I would door knock this and show this to them. I've had people do this as part of a pre-listing packet, because what happened is, and the feedback that I get from people doing this is, the homeowner, whether you text it, email it ahead of time, or print it, mail it ahead of time, is the homeowner will say, oh yeah, I saw your presentation and I just looked at it briefly, right? They're just going to look at it briefly. So based on the feedback that I've gotten from people is, the sellers don't sit there and go all the way through it and then, make you waste your time later. Right. And if anything, and I've had people tell me they've actually gotten come list me calls from people. All right. Just like, so I want you to come over. I want to meet you and all that. But yeah, just make sure to bring your listing agreement, because we're going to sign with you, because we went and we looked through this and it was amazing. All right. It was amazing. Now, that's when that's going to be dedicated for a specific property. Now, you can't add every single property in your area or in your database and do this. It's a little bit much on a number of different fronts. So the other thing you should do, I've got listing presentation, but it says beautiful home, Placer and El Dorado counties. And again, I'm going to walk you through both of these, because for seller leads, this is golden. Now, this flip book right here, this presentation right here, is for all of the seller leads. So I can use this one presentation for everybody. MK, you do that through your profile. So I'll go to the profile in a little bit, and I'll talk about colors, logos, and also CRM integrations. So this is just a typical home in my area. So this is nobody's home in particular. And this is in fact, I got to redo this one. This is a presentation I can use for everybody. So I can use the same link. And, similar to the listing presentation one that we saw first, this is kind of a similar version to that. I just like the cover better because here, the cover is of a home, right? And it's got this here. So, either version is going to be fine. You'll be fine using either version. So let's talk about how to add these, because the more comfortable you are with these, the much better you're going to be doing when you do your Instagram stories. You want to include a link. When you do an email and you want to swap out links. When you want to text somebody a link, right? That you're not fumbling around and like, oh my God, what do I do? So go to add listing, manual. So status, listing presentation. Now I can do the same thing and create these presentations for FSBO. We got for sale by owner draft, and we got for sale by owner regular, expired, and canceled. All right. So, but we're going to just do listing presentation for today. If it's going to be specifically for a specific seller, a specific property, then we would go seller name, John Franklin, put in their email address. I know I'm spelling it wrong. That's fine. I'm going to be deleting it in a second. Email and phone aren't shown anywhere, but the name is. Leave headline alone. Put in the street address, city, state, and zip. Continue on. Save and add photos. On the next page, you'll add a photo of their property, and then you'll just click through and you'll be done. It'll literally take you a minute and a half to add the property, and then it'll take about a minute to a minute and a half for the PDF and the flip book to generate. Like, so in 2 to 3 minutes, I can have a presentation ready to print or ready to send out via text or email. Now, if I want to create the general one, right, not specific to a property, but a general one to use for everybody in my sales area, what I can do is, first of all, I can use the one that is, under listing presentation tab, or here, no seller name, no email, no phone. Headline, whatever you want here. I got this from another client, the 100-point home marketing plan to get your home sold for, right, whatever you want in the headline. For street, pay attention because it's a little different, but it's easy. A beautiful home, a beautiful home. All right, that's all you put, a beautiful home. All right, city, just put your sales area. So I could do Northern California. That's it. And then I guess I got to add state and 95630. Now, the state and zip aren't going to show anywhere. Save and add photos. Again, add a photo. Wait about a minute to a minute and a half, and it will generate in both versions. And so again, here you can see I've got 8567 Gold Lane, and then I've got a beautiful home, Placer and El Dorado counties. So either version, and this is true for the expired and for the FSBO and for the canceled, you'll see the flipbook version right here. I have the PDF and JPEG downloads here, so I can print the PDF and then bind it if I want to go into a presentation where I've got the hard copy, and which you do because I want to leave it behind. And you've also got a landing page. So there's a landing page here as well. And you got the property website. Mine is kind of tricked out. I was working with Kelly Wheeler, and I were messing around with this. And so this was kind of kind of a goofball thing that we were doing. One other thing I'm going to mention while we're right here before we get onto it is uh, check this out. So when I click on the property website, it says a beautiful HO. Probably not what I want, because what it's doing is taking a beautiful home and it's truncating it, right, for the domain. So instead of sending a beautiful HO out to people, just go to domains, and I can say here, your NorCal home, like that. So, just something. In the listing presentation, can you include our local purchase agreement forms? No, but you would just attach it as an attachment, or you would print it and include it in like a folder. So yeah, this will just have all of the stuff that you see right here. All right, because we know when you're in our expired training, we talk about including the. We have a expired cover letter. We've got the trash sheet. We've got um, the seller process outline, which I'll show you as well here in a minute. And now, instead of a beautiful HO, I got your NorCal home. All right. And that's true for your listings. So because sometimes the listing will come through and it'll say 4583 Whidbey Lane, right? And it might go 4853 Whidbey L, and it chops off the A and E. And so if you want to, again, before you do any marketing, because it'll break the URL from what it was. So if I were to do a Facebook post and then change the domain, now I'm going to break the URL for everything I've done in the past, like the e-flyers and all of that. So in the very beginning, before you do any marketing, if you need to change it, yeah, just go to edit domains, click on the little pencil, and give it something special, right? Whatever you want. Let's go to the profile. Let's go back to the mastermind group, because there's a few other things in here I want to share with you. So the idea of the PDFs, that's great for the buyer and the seller guides. All right. That's great for the buyer and the seller guides. Josh Montgomery. All right. Josh Montgomery here. What do you say to leads who put in the time frame as just dreaming? ChatGPT gave me a few good ideas. All right. Now I answered this too. We're going to look at my answer as well. But I thought this was fine. Just dreaming is my favorite phase. That's where all the best ideas start. What are you dreaming about right now? I mean, that's kind of an odd little question. Sounds a little weird. But what I have found is just dreaming and just thinking are people that are in the research phase. So if you get a buyer lead and they say, hey, we're just dreaming about buying a home. First of all, either they're probably a first-time home buyer, so they don't know the home buying process, or they're just like starting out. And that's fine. That is totally fine. Okay. Absolutely fine. Unless you want them to go to somebody else, right? If you want somebody else to educate and nurture them, fine. Then you probably want to get out of the business. Leads are going to be, and I see this all the time because my wife is a mortgage broker and I manage all of her ads. And so I see this all the time. It's think about a bell curve. More people are going to come in at the beginning, right? Just dreaming 12 plus months, but then you're going to get 3 to 6 months, 1 to 3 months, right? So you're going to get people all over the curve. The problem is if you're going to tell me, well, everyone says they're just dreaming, then that tells me you're not generating enough leads. All right. That's it. Or you're just doing down payment assistance, kind of like low end things that are more pertinent to new new home buyers. Okay. Light but guiding. I love that answer. Dreaming is step one. So most of this right here, it's just confirming. It's just affirming what they said. All right. So when somebody says they're just dreaming, here's my answer. And I like my answer better because I've dealt with this for a while. I said, so like I just mentioned, that often means they do not understand the home buying process and they may be a first-time home buyer. Leverage the PDF guides for buyers. Same as would be true for sellers. with them in your follow-up. And here's the really good one. And I got this from another agent. Offer them a dreams and goals call, right? Could be on phone, could be on Zoom, could be in person, to explore their homeownership dreams and goals. The idea, oh yeah, I just said what you had above was good, but offer a dreams and goals uh, 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 meetup, right? Hey, look, I saw that you're just dreaming about buying a home. I totally get it. That's awesome. That's that's the first place that people start, right? You got to, now, but now what we need to do is we need to start manifesting that dream. All right. We need to put a plan in place because buying a home, we're not buying socks. This is not buying, air fryer. All right. We don't just go to Walmart and buy a home. Buying a home is a pretty lengthy process. And so that you tell me you're just dreaming is absolutely perfect because that means that we've got time to get you prepared to make sure you are in the best position possible so that when the time is right, that you will be able to buy a home. And you're going to find out there will be people, they're going to want to buy in 3 months. All right. So just dreaming does not mean enough. And again, I've heard this from agents. Just dreaming is not a death sentence to 12 plus months. Not at all. It just is, I don't know how to get started. All right. And just thinking with the selling, it's kind of the same thing. And that's where this comes in. That's where these come into play. All right. That's where these come into play for the seller leads. All right. Are we good so far? Everything so far seems pretty copacetic. I feel like there's one more thing here. So this is great. In fact, I'm going to be going to train at their office. So this is cool. Just a couple of days ago on the 18th. What is today? Today is what, the 20th? Yeah. So just a couple of days ago, after watching and learning from the master, well, whatever, I fine-tuned my Facebook profile, added a business. So he finally got all that stuff straightened up. He ran an ad and within an hour received a lead that he's meeting with this week, which is awesome. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Get into the mastermind group and ask him what he said. All right, that's what the mastermind group is for. Get in there. Hey, Arif, what was it that you said to them that got them? Did you call him? Did you text him? One of the things my wife, and I tell you, my wife goes back and forth constantly. All right, she is constantly going back and forth between calling, not texting. Sometimes she'll text, then call. Sometimes she will call, not leave a voicemail. And you know what I mean? So it's just, you're gonna go through phases. One of the key things though is every single day. Now, and I apologize, I didn't even mention the AI text follow-up yet. I recommend, and someone had a question about it. Let me go see. How else can I use it other than, I mean, that's all you use it for, is for the ads. Okay. So one of our clients, John Summers, who I talk to on a pretty regular basis, he did an open house. The lead came in, AI text picked it up, and he got him actually closed on the first offer, which is phenomenal. So he did the open house, ran the Facebook ad through listings to leads. AI text picked it up. All right, continued the conversation. Now here's the deal. You still want to follow up with these leads. Do not, AI text, whether it's from us or from somebody else, is not a license to drop the ball and be lazy. So you still need to call them, text them, email them, stay on top of it. What I recommend you doing, and it's just the easiest, is time block at least a half hour every day. Sometimes time blocking a whole hour. Now, for those of you that are dialed in, I love it, right? I love you. That's perfect. If you can, time block an hour every single day. What my wife does is every day, no, she does like 6:30 to 7:30, or in the summer, she'll do 7 to 8 on the weekdays, and call, because she likes to call when it's like the after dinner, before bed type of thing. And she has great response from people. Doesn't want to call them at work, doesn't want to call during the day. And so, she just arranges her day, in the morning time, she'll do personal things and do what have you. That's kind of the great thing about real estate. You get to work 24/7. Right? I got into real estate because I wanted to, customize my hours. Oh yeah, you're going to customize them, all right. It'll be 22 hours a day instead of 8, but you get to pick which 22 you want to work. Um, but it's the daily action of calling and following up. Okay. So when you start skipping days, you start skipping a week, you fall out of the habit. And then you wonder, like, holy shit, I don't have any leads coming in. I don't have any leads I'm in conversation with because, talking to people is an action, right? It's an action. If as salespeople, we're going to rely on people to call us back, right? That's going to be a long, long wait. Um, Charles, when I put a post on social media, not an ad. Yeah, but you could. That would be something like mini chat, right? So yeah, you can use programs like mini chat and do that. Definitely. We've got it's not active right now, but we're actually going live with our new system on Tuesday. After all these, like over a year, over 2 years really. But on Tuesday, we're going live with our new system. It'll be only for new agents that sign up, will be rolled into it in the beginning. And then once we're good to go and making sure everything is good, then we're going to start rolling all of you into the new platform. It looks and works very similar to what it is now. So you're not going to be lost. You're not going to be confused, right? This is not a UI update. It's more of a platform backend update. So it'll be faster. It'll look slightly different, just a little bit cleaner. That's all. But one of the things that we got going as soon as that is done is automating this a little bit more. So if you want to play around with this, we're not really supporting it. So support's not going to be able to help you out with it. But I've actually had it connected before. So, but yeah, if you want to get in here, so yeah, these will connect with your Facebook page. All right. So it'll connect with like your Facebook page. And I can say home value, give it a title, boom, bada bing. So play around with it, but just understand it's nothing that support is going to really be able to help you out with. And if you like it and it works for you, great. And if it doesn't, then just 86 it for now and understand that, we're going to get back to it. But because Facebook did some updates and so on and so forth. But I'm telling you, this thing actually gives home value updates. It sends listing information, carries on a conversation. And oh my God, we had this like 5 years ago. And so we just need to support it better and do better training once we get it back up and running. All right. But I believe it does work. It's just not how I want it at this point. And I keep threatening to like just literally take it out of the system until it is. But yeah, Charles, if you want to play around with this, but again, like I said, this is nothing that we're going to be able to get to as far as you going, oh, this isn't working. Okay, it's not working. Yeah, so here we go. Thank you for that question. So let's talk about two things. Let's talk about CRM integration and let's talk about colors and all that. So in your profile, bottom left, and then it says CRM integration. And so here, so somebody, what did you just mention? Follow Up Boss. Right there. So Follow Up Boss, drop in your Follow Up Boss email, I guess, and hit save. You should be good to go. Right? Bold Trail, Boomtown, Brivity with API Nation, Lofty, Moxie, Realty Juggler, Realty Geeks, Sierra, Top Producer, Wise Agent. Then we got Zapier. So if you're using Go High Level, right, it's Lead Connector. That's Go High Level. It's called Lead Connector. You'll want that one. We have a ton of other pre-built zaps down here for you as well if you want those. If your CRM is not listed, then go to other CRMs and ask your CRM provider, ask their support for what is called a lead forwarding email address. All right. And then you're going to drop that in here. It's not your email. It's not your scott@listingstoleads.com email. All right. That won't work. You got to drop in. It's a very kind of a weird email from your CRM provider that you'll drop into here. So make sure you ask them, because if you don't know, if you're not familiar with it, you're going to have no idea what it is. You need to ask your CRM. And again, just drop into here, boom, save. All of you can add tags into listings, into landing pages, into the PDF guides. So you can have all the tags set so that when it gets to your CRM, everything is tagged the way you want it. All right. How do you know if it's working? Just fill out a lead form. Yeah. If your CRM, just fill out a lead form and see if it flows through. What I like to do is, because, I don't like to put my own email in, just because it's my email. I'm already in the profile and I don't know if it's going to be exactly. So what I like to do is I'll give it to somebody else, right? That's not in my CRM. Like maybe a friend, another coworker, my wife or my kids. And I'll just say, hey, can you fill out this landing page for me? I just want to test something. And then they'll fill it out with an email address. And then I can see, did it flow through properly? And if I need to, I'll say, hey, you know what? Thanks. That didn't work. And maybe a couple of days later, I'll ask them to do it again after I look at what I need to look at. Okay. Eric, does that make sense? Colors and logos under account appearance. So you got your logo, your colors. I can do custom colors. I can change the background. So my single property websites, right? I've got the dark background. And I can even change the color of the panel over here, right there. It says customize. Oh. And a few other items here. Hit save. While I'm here, because this has a little bit to do with profile, you can add all the different pixels you want. So check this out. Connect your Facebook pixel, right? You got that right there. So you can do this. You can add other codes. You got conversion, you got all. Right. So you can add any kind of pixel, any kind of tracking code. I got people that add chat codes, right? So they got like I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but like, you got like a chat bot, and you like from another provider, you can add that. So when people land on your single property website, you have a little chat bot coming up. You can do that as well. I got clients that do that. Kind of cool. You got your lead gen signature. This is great for follow-up, because this will actually deal with the fact that every email you send will have a couple of links here. I think it defaults to your home value landing page and your client review website if you got that activated. But it's always customizable. So I can get in here and customize it. It works in Gmail. It works in most CRMs. You can drop it into whatever CRM you want. You can drop it in, like I said, Gmail, Wise Agent, Top Producer, Lofty, Follow Up Boss, all right, as a signature. That's really cool. A lot of people, I love it, because, agents will email me and I'll see that they're using this in whatever CRM that they've got. And it's really cool. For me, I just got it going to listings to leads, right? Sure, obviously. Let me think. What else should we talk about here? Any other questions? Let me give you a post-webinar survey link. I would greatly appreciate it if all of you would click on that. It really helps me out. All right. I don't need to hear that, you loved it. I mean, I want to hear it. Of course I want to hear it. But I'm also interested in, what would you tell another agent? So if another agent in your, group, all right, that's not local, asked you about listings to leads, or, what have you, or what didn't you get from this call that you expected? All right. Because I want to make sure that when you spend an hour with me, that you walk away with it from this with value and something that you're able to literally implement today or tomorrow, to grow your business. We don't know who's got an hour to waste. No one's got an hour to waste. And one of the things I love from some of the comments I've already been getting from people is that I leave out all the sales fluff, right? A lot of companies, a lot of people apparently like to throw in a lot of salesy stuff into their calls. I'm sitting here. I want to make sure that you guys are just dialed in and ready to go. Brent, what do you mean by domains? And if you're talking about right here, so if you want to, and you have to get with support, I don't know too much about this, but like, for example, if you got, sarasota living.com and you want all of the URLs and listings to leads to go off that URL, you can do that right here. So it's kind of cool. It's pretty smooth. I've seen a few people do it. I'm sure more, I'm sure there's a fair number of people doing it, but I've seen a few of them. It's pretty slick. Looks pretty good. So let me know if that's what you're referring to or if it's something else. All right. Again, please make sure you are following us on Instagram. All right. Like I said, I am posting. It's either going to be stuff like this, right? Convert FSBOs into listings, right? So, again, when I'm doing these Instagram stories, I'm not thinking about, I am, but I'm really thinking about you guys, all right, and gals, you people, right? Because I'm thinking I want to make sure, just like you need to keep your sellers, right? It's not your seller's job to remember that you got the best marketing plan in the industry. All right. As much as we would love for that to be the case, it's not their job. It is our job to stay in front of the sellers, to stay in front of the buyers. And so when I do social media, I'm not thinking necessarily of like people that are not clients, right? As my first audience, I'm thinking of you. And so, I'm trying to make sure you all are reminded that, hey, for example, we did that FSBO call yesterday. It was awesome. So much great feedback on that. Got so much great feedback on that FSBO call. Just people, it was nuts. And then I do this, like this one here as an example, because I want you to see, like, oh wow, I can do a post linking to the plan, right? And so that's something that you should be doing. Does that make sense? So make sure you're following us on Instagram. Make sure you are in the mastermind group. All right. All right. Any other questions here before I let you all go to enjoy a great Friday and weekend? Cost. Brent, cost of what? Cost of listings to leads? Are you talking about the cost of this program? I thought you were a client. If you're talking about listings to leads, the cost is the base price, and that includes text IVR and all the marketing tools. It does not cover the AI text, but it covers, I think, everything else. $95 a month. So, Brent, is that what you're referring to on cost? For some reason, I thought you were a client. So either you're not a client or you're talking about something else. All right. Anything else from anybody? All right. Anybody? Let me know before we go. I don't mind hanging out for a quick minute. All right. I guess we're good. All right, everybody. Listen, have an awesome weekend. Take action for the domain. Oh, there's no cost. Yeah. No, there's no cost for the domains. Yeah. Yeah. Just click connect custom domain. All right. Whatever domain, you've got. How much domains cost? I don't know. You got to go through GoDaddy or Namecheap or whatever it is, Yeah, no, there's no cost in our system. That it's free to do it. Yeah, but you're going to, you have to buy a domain from somewhere else, like GoDaddy, right? Or something like that. So you'll buy your domain from somewhere. Most people do their website. Okay. Yeah, Brent. Yeah, Brent says, "Can you see these?" Yeah, no, I'm reading. I'm like literally referring back to what you're saying here. Yeah. So, but again, most people just use their IDX website. So if you got an IDX website, like I said, like Sarasota Living, then that's typically what you're going to connect right here. All right. All right. Brent, if you got anything else, man, definitely either get with our support team or get to the mastermind group. All right. Get to the mastermind group. I love having conversations in there, because I can promise you, other people will have that same question. And if they see you asking it, they're going to be like, oh, they're going to, you know, uh, possibly chime in and get value from that as well. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Have a phenomenal weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.